All right, day 2, Supercon, Florida, 2019. Really excited, especially for today. Tonight is the cocktail party, and we're gonna be interacting with a lot of celebrity guests, hopefully. I'm looking forward to that. But first, and starting in about 5 minutes, the Dragon Ball panel with Sean Schimmel and Chris Sabat and the rest of the cast from Dragon Ball Z are going to be there. Some Q&A. So pretty much looking forward to it. I'm meeting up with Big Rod Pathiri now. And yeah, I'll catch you then.
Other than like, you know, an arrest warrant or, you know, maybe a check. Yeah, you know, I had trouble paying tickets when I was younger. But we were there, and they, you know, they paid us a little chunk of change to just sign our name a whole bunch of times on these things. I just thought, man, that's the coolest thing ever. Can we do more of that, please? Like, where do we sign up to do this every day? Very cool.
The thing he's talking about are actually those art box cards. Do you guys remember collecting the art box cards when you were younger? A lot of them had like a gold foil on them, and there was one where like Piccolo was holding like bubbles or something like that. Anyway, they were pretty cool.
I have a book of them. I collected them over the years. I still have the book and all the sleeves and everything.
That's amazing.
So, what's been the most endearing memory from this whole experience?
Of this weekend or the last 20 years?
You know, you can decide. If you saw something really cool in Miami last night, I think we all did.
What was it?
What's that?
I didn't see that. What was it? I saw some fireworks.
I saw people that were overdressed and oversexed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not see those people. No.
Walk by the beach.
I would be curious about that, yes.
Honestly, for me, my brother and I used to watch Dragon Ball on like the original run of Toonami. Yeah, and so it's like, kind of like my childhood. There you go. Yes, yes. So it's kind of like my childhood coming full circle, because I remember I was in elementary school, and I remember my brother was trying to get me to watch this show with him. He's like, "Come on, Lex, like this is a really cool show," and I'm like, "That's for boys." And he's like, "No, but they've got like really cool like girl characters in it too." And so he was watching the Cell Saga, and I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, he showed me Android 18, and I thought she was so cool, and I was like, "I guess I'll watch it." And so that was something we used to watch together after school. So it was really, really cool when I was able to talk about this role that I'm getting to tell my brother, because he's a huge Dragon Ball fan, and so he was super excited, and it was just this really cool moment of like, oh my gosh, we used to watch that when we were kids, and so it was really special. So, yeah.
And I've known Josh a bit, and I mean, Chris and I have known each other for 20 years now, so a big group of what I call my family is Dragon Ball, and it really means a lot to me, because it's really your extended family that is there for you for more of your own stuff than sometimes your own family is. So it's the friendships I've gotten. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We love you, man.
So it's exciting. So, and also to see your story, because your story's a lot like Ian's, as Alexis. Well, because Ian was like watching it growing up, and now he's Whis.
Oh yeah.
So it's an interesting to have the new crew be a part of the family, so it's really exciting.
Well, and the fact that this show has continued for that long.
Yeah.
Continued long enough for something like that to happen, so.
I'm waiting for a
Thanks,
young
Job
person
Security.
who's younger than us to, you know, we're much older, who grows up to be president and then wants us to come to the White House. You know, that would be so cool. I don't think Trump's gonna be right.
Are clearly the voices that are, you are Vegeta in America. You are Goku.
Yeah!
It was actually, I got pretty upset, like get emotional about it, because it was the first time I'd ever felt like, oh gosh, maybe we have had some sort of impact on people.
I didn't get a feedback from the Japanese group from Toei or Shueisha until Scott Lansky went to Japan and called me from Japan. And this was like during Resurrection F. And he called me and asked me a question or talked to me about something, and I go, hey, let me ask you, do they like it? He goes, oh yeah, they love it, they think it's great. I started crying on the phone. I couldn't believe that. I mean, I was moved by the fact that, because we'd not gotten any feedback from Toei or Shueisha, because they're just communication, and they're doing their thing, we're doing our thing, and then they finally got more involved in the last 5 or 6 years, and once that happened, they started giving us feedback, and it was very, really gratifying to hear that, because that's, you know, that's who you really want to please ultimately, is the people that make the show, you know.
Yeah, we were super lucky to have been kind of involved in one of the shows where people actually prefer the dub over the sub in a lot of cases.
So yeah, we're very lucky in that regard. regard. You know, that's something that that I think. Well, I never looked at it from a competitive point of view because I look at it as apples and oranges. But as a guy playing the character, I always looked at the character like I wasn't feeling. I had to make the character, you know, something that was very accessible and something that was very iconic and defined for English-speaking audiences. So that was my goal from day one. It's just I looked at it like I was, you know, a new cast member on The Simpsons, which is an American relay show, not a dub. And so I was so naive, I didn't understand that I was working on a dub and there would be this culture around both or one versus the other. You know, watch whatever you want, it's fine, it doesn't bother me at all. Just when I go in to do the work, I'm Goku, that's what I'm doing, and I bring it all in, you know, 110% every time. Otherwise, I'll let you guys down. And I want you guys freaking out when there's a big blast. I want you guys to feel it, you know. Otherwise, I'm not doing my job right, you know. And that's what I try to bring to the table every day. And that's all based on, luckily for us, because we're not relay, the animation. The animation really gives me a lot of cues as to how much intensity I need to give. I never feel like I quite make it, but as long as I'm close, you know, because it's an intense show. You know, we have to warn new actors who get on it. You better be ready to sweat and scream, you know.
Yeah, for real.
It's surprising the things you can't say.
I'm at the question line Q&A. I'm about
Oh,
to
it's
ask them questions.
some of the funnier things we've had to kind of edit for like, I guess they always have to have a safe option for all these lines, but some
I'll get back to you in a
of them,
second.
it is like the most sensitive committee. They must get like a room to talk about in this room. Next question.
I was gonna say, did they ever tell you like what games to dub? Like I think Jump Force is
They just finished
only,
asking what it's like to backstab Finley
dubbed.
Not the appropriate time to be asking that question. You believe that shit right now? I know somebody
they make with the dubbing house, and so Chris might know a little bit.
That guy was such an asshole, by the way.
It's nobody's business.
Or does it have to do with the license that goes with the
Yeah, I don't know why it hasn't been dubbed yet.
Like Jump Force.
Blew our minds with a multi-course meal, and he made, what, can you tell me?
It was teppanyaki. It was like a hot table. He was cooking a bunch of various different types of food.
But he did different shapes. He did different like flower shapes and animal shapes out of the food.
He was truly a master.
He was a master. And I thought about that for a long time. Yeah, it was.
I have also had several of the best meals of my life in Japan, so
yeah,
yes,
the ramen's great everywhere. The ramen at the airport, amazing. The ramen down the street, amazing.
I know, it's like
the ramen out of the vending machine in the middle of a cornfield, amazing.
They're like convenience store food that was packaged in a factory that morning is amazing. Like, God, yeah.
I do love me some good ramen too.
Yeah, my favorite food in the world, actually, the first time I ever had it was in Japan, and now I found a place in Dallas that finally has really good shabu shabu. Have you guys had shabu shabu at all?
He loves him, shabu shabu.
That is my favorite cuisine. It's Japanese cuisine. It's shabu shabu. It's like onomatopoeia, means like swish swish. You like take, it's like thinly sliced like raw meat and vegetables, and you dip it in water, and then dip it in sauce, and then dip it in rice, and then dip in your mouth, and you die, and it's so freaking good. And I'm thinking about it now, and I'm so hungry. That's kind of why
Where is that place at?
I blanked on that last question because I am kind of hungry right now. So I think my blood sugar is really low. Where's the shabu shabu?
Yeah, where's that shabu shabu?
Any shabu shabu places here in Miami that you're aware of?
No.
It's hard to find.
Dallas?
I was trying to find a taco bus, but they don't have that here in Miami. They have it.
Two
Do they have a taco bus here? Where's the taco bus? I love the taco bus.
I didn't know of the taco bus.
Is there one over in Old Denton?
The taco bus?
Like food trucks.
You have to hunt for it. That's part of the experience. So
Hunting
thanks
for the
your work,
taco.
guys.
Thank you very much.
man.
Thank you.
Hey, boss.
Hi.
We're the boss.
We're the boss.
That was a great and also horrible question because now I'm thinking about food.
Damn you!
With Dragon Ball being like the legendary series that it is, it spawned over so many different generations of fans like that, and it's been able to spawn.
Man, you talk faster than me. That's awesome.
Holy shit, dude.
I'm just really excited.
No, I can't fire one of the 2 cylinders of speech listening.
I was waiting for him to finish and go, sold!
Well, it's been able to spawn like these legendary characters that have connected with so many people, and you guys have been able to bring them to life so well. So my question's for everyone, and it's, what's your favorite thing about the characters that you've been able to bring to life?
Doing this, like me and you guys, like, and if you're talking about aspects of the character, that's another thing. But as far as like, the best part is, you know, while being recognized on the street when you're trying to shop at Fry's and put stuff in your trunk and do your daily business can be annoying. It's also flattering and wonderful, and it's a mixture of like, hey, I'm trying to do my life, but awesome, let's do a photo. And so that part is really, really exciting because it's not so much it's egoically gratifying as it is I mean, think about it. It's almost like you bought something. You know, if you ever buy somebody a present, you hand them the present, they go, "Oh, you got this." It's like that every single time you meet somebody watching the show because they make the same. You just gave them a give face present, and so it's amazing. Now, as far as the character is concerned, Goku's a quirky character because Akira Toriyama's been very clear about how like he just likes fighting the strongest no matter what, and he's not necessarily altruistic. And Goku comes across as, you know, maybe thick or stupid sometimes, but he's not. He's really playing the long game, and he's a master strategist, and he's just kind of the Quagmire of Dragon Ball, but for fighting instead of ladies. So he's like, "Is any fighting? Giggity! You know, fighting? That'd be awesome! Giggity, giggity!" And I like that aspect of it, but I also like that there's this weird, like, Zen-like deepness to him that is covered up by his goofiness that I think is, and it was first evident to me during the Cell games where he kept the Gohan card in his back pocket for so long. That is not a stupid strategist. That's a smart guy who's playing the long game. And so I really enjoy, and I like the fact that Goku stays fundamentally in the beginner's mind the same, and everyone else kind of grows and evolves. You know, Vegeta's slowly getting nicer, Piccolo's a babysitter, you know, Yamcha still sucks. Mr. Satan's getting kind of cooler, you know, over time.
Whatever.
You know,
I'm funny.
You're the champ.
Well, for me early on, it was like, God, kids would come up and go, "Oh, I so hate your character." You know, and then over time, those kids got older, and they came back to me and go, "You know, I used to hate your guy, and now I really think he's awesome and funny, and I really got some good laughs out of him." So for me, that's my thing. Like, comedy runs through my veins. I come from comedy. I perform in comedy troupes and do comedy, and that's why I like to make people laugh. So if you guys are coming to me saying Mr. Satan makes me laugh, then
dude, if I have a Mr. Satan scene on my recording day, I get happy. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be fun because either Goku's gonna do something stupid or Chris Rager's gonna make me laugh, one or the other. And
and honestly, I was honored because I remember when I first came in to record on Super, Sabat made it a point to be there that day. You know,
that's how important I am.
You know, well, it was just sort of like, oh.
But I was so thrilled when they were kind of just showing off the cast of Super that they decided that, like, I think Akira Toriyama just took all of his favorites and said, "These are my favorites, and these are who are going to stay in Super." And then he said, "Oh, and Gohan, I guess, can be in it too." So.
I'll give him a tracksuit.
Damn.
No, I love Gohan. I do. I love Gohan especially. I'm a big Great Saiyaman fan. I love Kyle Aber's rendition of Great Saiyaman.
You should have stayed there.
Team's 4-star.
I haven't. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally messing with you.
I love it, honestly. I think it's hilarious, and more of it, honestly. My favorite one they did, honestly, was the rehashing of the original Broly movie. You know, and that whole thing about, it's just so stupid. Yeah, but he's so cool. That made me laugh every time. And I think those guys are great. I think those guys are great. I kind of know them just through con scenes, and their offices are right around the corner from my house, actually.
Wow.
But I think those guys
They're
are
ridiculously funny. I look forward to seeing them. I cannot wait for the day they actually get to do something like original, take those skills that they have and do something like wholly original. Would be pretty amazing to see.
Alright, thank you guys.
Thank you.
I love all this polite golf clapping. You guys are so kind. Yes.
Make some noise!
Hi, my name is Justin. My question has to do with, you know, when you make such roars like the Ultra Instinct or the Gogeta Kamehameha in the Broly movie, how do you get the inspiration for something so powerful like that?
A lot of it has to do with your own mental memory of the last stream you did that was big, so it better be bigger. And then it has to do with the animation. And that's the thing, having done prelay and animation, there's kind of a technical process that I disagree with now that I think should always be changed, which is they like to, when you're doing a prelay show when there's no animation, they say, okay, here's your lines, and then you do your lines, and then you're gonna fall down the stairs, and you're gonna get hit in the head, and then you're gonna do a big scream, and then you're gonna jump up, and then you're gonna, and then you do it all, and then a lot of times once I've done that, and then they animate to what I've done, it never matches the way I wanted it to, whereas it's much easier to me, and for almost any actor, so to just match the visual, you know, vocalization, a scream, etc., ouch, or whatever, on screen in real time. So I would prefer, if you're doing a prelay show, you record all the lines and then they animate it, then you come back and do ADR, and you can match that better, because when I see the animation and I see the energy and the electricity and everything that's going on, especially in the Kefla fight, which I just did a few weeks ago, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, I gotta bring it. And I wouldn't know to bring it that hard. I mean, I would try very hard, but I wouldn't know unless I saw those visuals. So it's very helpful to have the visuals, especially for those epic moments, because you can time everything out right and you can do it. And so I'm very, very inspired by the visuals to make sure it sounds more epic than before. You know, that's the goal. And all of us, I believe, are screaming at the absolute limit. Like, it's any worse, I'm gonna lose my voice forever. But yeah.
Yeah, we're really lucky. We also have the sound effects in our ear at the same time that we're doing it.
Where are we going?
Well,
where am I going?
To the VIP room.
We're going to the VIP cocktail party.
I wish we were going to the VIP cocktail party.
You should have been with me earlier this afternoon, because I was by myself on my way over here. I was like, I'm making my way down to the Supercon, and I was like, excuse me guys, excuse me?
Oh, sorry about that.
Anyway, I was like, I can't wait for the Cox. I was like, I can't wait for the Cox party tonight.
Oh,
I'm like, wait, cocktail. So I'm keeping it in there.
The Cox party.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm totally making my way to cocktail party, and it's gonna be a fun night.
We're just going along for the escalator ride, you know.
Yeah, it's the best you can get right there. Escalator ride. Escalators, escalators, escalators. I'm so glad you guys get that reference. Yeah, SpongeBob for the win. All right, I'm making my way, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. You guys are fun. We'll see you tomorrow for sure. We'll be here like right now. We'll be here like next minute whenever you. Well, I'm being here. I'm gonna be here at around 6 in the evening or so. All right, we'll be here still. All day. All right, man. Later, guys.
Enjoy the party.
All right, thank you. Anyways, making my way down to the VIP room, and this is really exciting. I'll catch you guys there. It was a really great time at this panel. This is the one panel I've been looking forward to for a very long time, for the most part throughout my teenage years and, you know, early adult years. Still in my early adult years, what am I saying? I'm not even that old. But Dragon Ball Z panel, something I was very looking forward to very much, especially when it's, you know, being done with some close friends of yours. And I had a great time. Now, that one cringy ass kid who wanted to just self-promote was being a total dick and asked about the issue of Vic Mignogna, and he accused them of backstabbing them. Now, there's always a time for everything, whether you're against it or for it. It's a topic that you don't talk about. I have my personal issues with the matter, as a matter of fact, which I will not discuss in this video, and I don't think I'll ever discuss in another video ever. But you don't come to these events to discuss this, and that's just gonna leave it like that. Anyways, I continued on with taking some more photos at day 2. There wasn't much to take. I mean, I took most of my photos during day 1. And I keep coming back to this collection because of a couple of reasons. One, that is a huge collection of stuff. 2, it's nice to look at. Supercon is a great time for everyone. It's not a time to pick fights, have arguments. It's just you're there to geek out, meet people who have a common interest with you, and hopefully make some new friends and even meet your idols. And I certainly did. I've had the greatest pleasure of meeting one of my favorite idols of all time. And with that being said, I finally met one of the cast members of Dragon Ball Z. Unfortunately, I didn't meet Sean Schemmel, but I did meet the one and only Chris Sabat from Dragon Ball Z, who voices Vegeta and Piccolo Yamcha. Guy is an amazing dude. He is awesome. He heard my story. He heard where and how I came across Dragon Ball Z. I shared my story growing up with my older stepbrother and how he brought Dragon Ball Z into my life, and I've loved it ever since, and I followed it, and I'm a huge fan of the voice cast and of course of the show, and I want to thank Chris for listening to me. Hey, this recording? Hey guys, we're here at Supercon. I just got a signing done from Christopher Sabat. I got my Blu-rays of Dragon Ball Z, Battle Gods, Resurrection of Ash, and of course Broly, all signed by Christopher Sabat right there. Read them and weep, man. And I met the man. And on top of that, he gave me a free poster signed. It says, Ronnie kicks my ass for this. This goes out to my older stepbrother, who I want to thank for getting me into Dragon Ball Z. Thank you so much, buddy. I love you. And I'm going to be sending this to you up in Syracuse soon. So I'm going to text you right after this. All right, man? But for now, I'll hold on to this for you. And thank you, Christopher Sabat. I'm going to tweet this out for you to see.
Yeah.
All right? Anyways, thanks so much. I'm looking for this meeting room to have the cocktail party. And it's just an endless hallway. So much walking. I have to deal with all this walking. Almost there. The moment you've all been waiting for. The after party is always like far away from everyone else. All right, almost there. Almost there. I can feel it. I think this is the room. It's the end of the hall. Found the cocktail party room. Supposedly it's going to be starting around 8:30 instead of 8, but we got no warning about it. So, needless to say that this party was pretty slow and unexpected, and I mean that in a bad way. I didn't get to meet the guests that I was promised to meet. Not everything is guaranteed when you have VIP or even press pass for that matter, but while I was here I took advantage and I took some amazing photos like this Fallout mask over here from the Pip-Boy, and of course this gang over here dressed up as the Mystery Inc. from Scooby-Doo. And they're great guys. They let me take photos and I really appreciate it. And I want to say thank you to them. Really nice folks. So yeah, that's all I got. I only spent about an hour and a half and I just used the best of it and just took some selfies with people. That's all. So anyways, yeah, that's the end of the day 2 vlog of Florida Supercon. Thank you. So I just got done sitting through a Dana Snyder panel. What? Again. And that's the end of day 2. It's now about 9:46 p.m. right now. And I want to say thank you for sticking around. Had a lot of fun. It's really quiet in this hallway and it's so freezing. It's really freezing in here. I'm about to head home. I'm about to turn in for the night. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next comment.